All right, boys and girls, let's talk about this Western Conference Finals because it's honestly been pretty awesome and compared to the other playoff series we've got, especially in the East, with the Knicks kind of cakewalking everything and the Pistons being frauds and the Celtics being out early. This is the one that I've got my teeth into more than anyone else. The Thunder are up 3-2. They just beat the Spurs last night in Game 5, where they looked very in control for most of it after the Spurs played a Game 4 to even it up, where they were very in control. But it's been back and forth for the most part in the last 3 games. It's come down to who's making their threes and helping out the star to give the other guy an advantage, because when you play a team this many times, you learn to game plan best you can for a guy like Shea and for a guy like Wemby, these MVP all world level players. And then once you get figured out on how to play them pretty well and neutralize them a little bit, they still get theirs, but then it's up to the surrounding guys to also come through. The most important guy here, I think, is Chet. Um, he played great in Game 5 after the first couple games in the series, especially with the Spurs winning. The wake up calls for, are you even real? Can you play the NBA? Can you score more than 8 points? I mean, Chet is very good. He's all world defensive player. He's not the most aggressive on offense, but he, for the most part, takes smart shots. And in this most recent game where the Thunder were dominant, it's because he neutralized Victor. Victor had 20 points, which is way less than usual. He only had 6 rebounds. He averages 13, 14. It's unreal. So Chet outplayed him, and he needed to outplay him on the defensive end for himself, and that's huge for the Thunder because if they have no means to stop Wemby, it's going to be like those overtimes in Game 1 all over again. The Spurs are just going to jump ahead because he's going to dominate. So Chet, these last 2 games, to make sure the Thunder advance, really needs to be on his best. And he got positive results from going after him and using his length and getting his shots. So turned it around in Game 5. Hasn't been the most consistent, but I'm happy about Chet so far. A lot of free throws from Shea once again. I mean, we know that's how he plays. I think Castle's doing a pretty good job on him, but we know Shea gets fouled. He finds a way to get to the line, and he does it again. He's not settling for that many threes, though, which is okay because his teammates are making threes in the games that they win, like Caruso and McCain. McCain in the starting lineup, interesting, worked out to be a good move, actually. Those two have been really helpful, and they've gotten some time over Wallace, but Wallace is still there for the defense. Lou Dort, I'm convinced, doesn't play offense anymore. He's just good for a couple of games, but the wing shooting is something that the Thunder need when there's so much attention brought by Stephon Castle, of course, onto Shea, and it makes his life harder. He doesn't make as many of his twos, and he gets picked up earlier and gets pressured more. Um, Shea's doing fine. He's kind of been up and down, but the Thunder have been winning when Chet plays well and when the guys that need to help Shea out are making their threes. I know I just praised Chet for neutralizing Victor here in this last Game 5, but if you're Wembanyama, you've got 2 more chances to make sure that that doesn't happen. Um, you're the most athletic freak of nature this game has maybe ever seen, and you just got to find more ways to get around the pressure they're sending at you. And I understand for the Spurs in this game, there wasn't a lot of help. The threes, other than Champagny, really were not shot very efficiently. But they're gonna flood to Wemby, and he's got to be fast and creative in what he does out of it. Only had 1 assist, and if teams are paying that much attention to you on defense and you only have 1 assist, it kind of goes to show that you're not making the smartest decisions when you get pressured. Um, he did a good job getting to the line, but he didn't convert on his field goals in real time, which is out of character for him. And even though the Thunder's game plan to get to the finals is stop Wemby, he will still be the reason that the Spurs win 2 in a row here. So he needs to find a way to take care of Chet and put the Spurs on his back. And then for Wemby's teammates, these two, I mean, this isn't all of them, but they got they got to not disappear. Like we've had a couple games where Fox is sub 12 points. I think he was in single digits yesterday. Castle was good yesterday scoring. He picked up the load, but he's had his fair share of turnover problems. But you can't get too upset at Castle with the way that he's defending and he's active in many aspects of the game. Dylan Harper is a rookie, and it shows. I think it's back-to-back games in less than 10 points or 2 out of the last 3. Um, if you can't rely on Dylan Harper to be accessory ball handling, then Fox has to do more, or that has to go to Wemby, because you have guys in there like Vassell and Champagny who are very helpful when they're making their shots, but that wasn't Vassell last game, and he's been very good all playoffs. Champagny made his, Vassell didn't. Keldon Johnson, solid, but not from 3. We kind of know who he is as an inside scorer. So the Spurs really have to come together and try and get the most out of all these guys. I think it starts with Fox in terms of being able to score more. He's settled for threes and he missed all of them. And Castle will get his hopefully smartly. But if Fox can just get enough minutes and look healthy enough to play, then that'll help the Spurs out a ton. To wrap it all up, Spurs have 2 chances to save their season and make it to the finals with a group that is honestly not in need of much change and maybe a year or 2 ahead of schedule against a Thunder team that has vets and has the back-to-back MVP. But you almost want to think that this Spurs young group has the chance to be more talented than the Thunder. But the Thunder's depth pieces, like I said, guys like Dort, Caruso, they've been here before. McCain looks pretty comfortable. Got a little bit better of a big rotation than just just Wemby and Cornet, who didn't score at all. But yeah, the Spurs can put it together, and we've seen them outplay the Thunder pretty handedly. But it's the MVP, and when his buddies are playing well for him, then they're really hard to take down. And I think the Thunder probably get one of the next 2, and then whoever makes it out of the West takes care of the next for the finals.